From high atop Healthcare Hill in Central Maryland, this is BSN Headline News. Today on BSN Headline News, we'll tell you about one of the most influential people in Greenville, South Carolina. We've got a reminder about your FSA or flexible spending account, and we'll talk to a couple of people who understand how being a competent and confident healthcare minister supports the idea of individual and organizational spirituality. But first, today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, a day where we can all celebrate Dr. King's dream that all people are equal and that we all stand together for freedom. How will you celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. Day? And now to the news. Mark Nance was named as one of the top 50 most influential leaders for 2010 in Greenville, South Carolina by the Greenville Business Magazine. That's right, the Chief Executive Officer of Bon Secours St. Francis Health System in Greenville, South Carolina, was picked by the Greenville Business Magazine as one of the most influential business leaders in Greenville, South Carolina, and this after just a little over a year in the position. Each year, Greenville Business Magazine selects 50 of the top business leaders they feel represent the best in business, government, education, and nonprofit. They consider the contributions of each of the leaders selected to be important in shaping Greenville's business and community landscape in 2010. Of Mr. Nance, the magazine wrote, Mark Nance has made an enormous impact on St. Francis since filling the position as CEO in 2010. Most recently, for the second consecutive year, Premier Healthcare Purchasers, the Leapfrog Group, announced St. Francis as one of the nation's top hospitals in patient safety, quality of care, and operational efficiency. The magazine went on to say that, in addition, the hospital was listed in a HealthGrades report as number 1 in South Carolina for joint replacements, nationally ranking in the top 5%. With Nance in the lead, St. Francis formalized the Bon Secours Medical Group that has partnerships in over 200 medical providers across the upstate. You can read the complete story in the Greenville Business Magazine online at www.greenvillebusinessmag.com. Then look for the story, Greenville's 50 Most Influential People of 2010. Please join us in congratulating Bon Secours St. Francis Health System CEO Mark Nance on this impressive accomplishment. In other news, here's a reminder that if you participated in a healthcare or dependent care flexible spending account, or FSA, in 2010 and still have a balance in your account, it's not too late to be reimbursed. Any 2010 claims can still be submitted to Connect Your Care by March 31st. Claims filed after that date cannot be considered for payment because of IRS guidelines. Now, the charges have to have been incurred in 2010, but you have until March 31st, 2011 to submit those not already submitted. To submit a claim, go to www.bonsecourstotalrewards.com and click the Connect Your Care link under the Link to Our Partners section. Then click on Add New Claim and follow the screen prompts for instructions about submitting your receipts. If you have difficulty logging on or submitting your claim, please contact your local Human Resources representative. Again, this is for expenses incurred in 2010 and does not affect your 2011 plan. Finally, Bon Secours Ministries, the sponsor of BSN, published their directional statement, A Future Filled with Hope, December 17, 2008. Since then, we have been actively bringing you stories that help shape our perspective of the directional statement at work. Today, we want to focus on one of the 6 calls contained within the directional statement, specifically, a strong focus on the development of competent and confident healthcare ministers steeped in the richness of Catholic social teaching and the heritage of Bon Secours. Today, we want to share with you the story of 2 different women who recently achieved a lifelong goal of pursuing their dreams of a theological education. Both ladies recently received their Masters in Theology from Barry University in Miami, Florida. We had a chance to sit down with each of them for a brief conversation about their recent achievement.
My name's Pam Phillips, and I'm the Vice President of Mission, and I work at in Hampton Roads, Bon Secour Hampton Roads. I guess a little bit about my background is I have an associate degree in physical therapy. I was a PT assistant for years. Then I got a bachelor's degree in healthcare management, and then I got an MBA. I went back to school. I started the master's program in theology. So I enrolled in that program and went back to finish that degree. And on December 18th was graduation. I'm absolutely where I'm supposed to be, no question about that. But I know that God put me here because I am doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing.
Well, I'm Liz Keith. I'm the Senior Vice President of Mission at Bon Secour St. Francis in Greenville, South Carolina.
You recently had a great accomplishment, a milestone, I'll call it. What was that milestone?
Well, I received my master's in theology from the University of Barry in Miami.
Now, was this part of a development plan, or was it something you wanted to do personally, or what's behind that?
Well, my ministry formation, I believe we're always in formation, but my early years of formation were probably what some may consider unconventional. A lot of my training was on-the-job training by the Sisters of Bon Secour. Some would say that it's unconventional because I received the on-the-job training prior to formal education. And so I felt that there was a need to expand my knowledge in theology. I saw a need to continue my education. And even though I do have a master's in public administration, and certainly that does play a role in some form of impact in my current ministry, I saw where I lacked the depth of theology. You know, David, I think we as individuals conduct ourselves from either our spirit or our ego. And if to be very transparent, initially it was ego. I thought, well, this would be in preparation for something in addition to be prepared for any other call that I may have. But as I progressed in my studies, I was able to see that it's for me today, personally and professionally, to make me a better mission person. One of the gifts and one of the joys that I have of being part of Bon Secour is that I do not have to delineate who I am as an individual and who I am as an employee or as a caregiver in a ministry. I can be my authentic self.
Bon Secour Ministries' call to develop competent and confident healthcare ministers seems obvious in these two colleagues today, but it started with the idea that together we can be faithful to our call and the promise we make to be good help to those in need. Well, that's it for this week. Stay tuned to this portal for future up-to-the-minute information on these and other stories on BSN Headline News. I'm Dave Schlachter. Thanks for joining us. BSN Headline News is a production of Bon Secour Productions and is solely responsible for its content.